Welcome back, everybody, to episode 20 of the Washed Up Sports Podcast. We are your Washed Up Sports hosts,
Patrick Quinn,
Ortiz,
and I'm Bobby Hanscom. So it's going to be Monday, June 24th, after a long weekend for us. Here's what we'll be talking about today on the show. The Celtics hanging up Benham 18
baby.
after defeating the Dallas Mavericks in 5 games.
the best 2 words in sports, Game 7 tonight from the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers.
We'll also be talking about some random news in the sports world this past week.
And we'll be finishing off the show with Washed Up Wagers as usual, where we will recap our picks from last episode and make 3 new picks apiece for this week. The Boston Celtics defeated the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5 last week to win their NBA Best 18th championship. With that being said, I would love to take a moment of silence for them, for the Celtics absolutely destroying them.
Fuck Kyrie!
And thank you, Boston Celtics.
Let's go, baby.
Celtics won Game 5, 106-88. Jaylen Brown was named NBA Finals MVP. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in Game 5. He averaged 21 points, 5 boards, 5 assists in the series, also while guarding Luka the entire time. First to win Finals MVP without making an All-NBA team since 2015 and Andre Iguodala.
Give me Iguodala!
Jason Tatum had 31 points, 11 assists, and 8 boards in Game 5. First player in Celtics history to have 30 points and 10 assists in an NBA Finals game.
First Celtic out of all that's like actually an unreal stat.
Yeah.
When you think about like just the history
greats
of the Celtics with the Bill Russells, the Kevin McHale's, the Larry Birds, the Robert Parrish,
Bob Cousy,
No.
Pierce,
Dude,
Pierce, Garnett,
would have
Allen. Like, for him to be the first one at 26, unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. Celtics led by 21 at halftime, where Peyton Pritchard hit an absolutely unbelievable shot from half court.
It's PP time.
That might have been the best thing I've ever watched, like on live.
After seeing that, like there was no way we were losing that.
Did
game.
you see the
not. We were not
after it
losing
happened? They did like a Naruto edit of it. I saw it on like Twitter, and it was like the shot went up, and then as soon as it went in the hoop, it like had like the flames come out and everything like that.
Jam.
Pretty much, but it was absolutely unreal. And then all the haters are saying he traveled as well on that play, but he also got
Everybody
fouled
knows
by
that.
Luka.
Yeah.
If we're being honest,
That was his second in the finals. Also,
Yeah.
Maybe
that was
Luka,
like
what he
fucking.
does.
That was literally Jordan pulled to us 2 years ago.
maybe Luka should have made his free throw and it wouldn't have happened.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving struggled all series long. He had 15 points on 5 of 16 shooting in Game 5, 18 of 53, and 3 of 17 from 3 in the series.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm shout out to Zach, our producer here, because we should have just hammered
Kyrie's under every
for
single
every
time.
single
Yeah.
fucking
He
game.
said it. It would have
He
hit
did.
4 out of 5 games.
That's
That's
nuts.
So stupid.
That's so nuts.
Kyrie has a 1-13 record versus Celtics ever since stepping on Lucky.
Did you see what Paul Pierce did? The NBA came out with like if you guys get a chance to watch it, it's like a 50-minute
Is it 50 or 50?
50 minute
5-0.
Look at the documentary.
on YouTube, and it like shows like Paul Pierce was like, we got to clean off Kyrie's footprints on Lucky and stuff like that before Game 2 and everything like. So it's actually a good documentary. I watched it today. It's 50 minutes on YouTube, and it goes through like the entire finals run and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I heard they're making an actual whole thing for.
Well, I saw the Netflix
Yeah.
was supposed to be following them
Yeah.
throughout their season, but
Yeah.
we'll see if like.
Probably not Netflix. It was probably our own media team.
But
That's
here's the
Netflix.
thing though, like, does Netflix just like know what's gonna happen? Because if you like look what's like,
They did it with the Chiefs.
they followed Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
like the full swing stuff. They followed everyone, like they followed Wyndham Clark when he won the U.S. Open last year. They followed Scotty when he won or John Rahm when he won the Masters. So it's like Netflix seems to know who's going to win these things, and they just follow them throughout the year. It's kind of crazy.
It's a script.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what wide receivers get followed next year, because the wide receiver doc is coming out
This
now.
upcoming year,
yeah.
they've already released.
Well, I'm saying for the future year, and then same thing with quarterback, who they follow to see who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they also had Marcus Mariota at the quarterback. But It's obviously the first ring for everybody on the Celtics except for Drew Holiday, who wins his second ring, and assistant coach Sam Cassell, who I heard is actually staying with the Celtics and going into a different role.
Oh, he's getting a pay upgrade. They said that was the only way he was going to stay, was getting a pay upgrade.
Which is well-deserved.
Yeah, I agree.
No one can go after him either.
No,
He's like a lock.
we need Sam to set.
It's great.
Timeout.
Lou, for the clips. Sing it.
Hey, Patrick.
Sing it.
I feel like I'm the guy reporting right now.
Yeah, right.
Getting to zoom in on Lewis's face. Come on, say something.
Yo, dude. Is that pretty weird?
Vamos, Colombia! Vamos!
Let's go, dude!
Come on, Lou. I had the ball winning. Come on!
We'll get to some stats in a second, but the Celtics absolutely dominated this series and throughout the playoffs. What are your guys' thoughts on Game 5 and banner number 18?
You want to start us off, Lou?
Winning it in Boston, I feel like they were ready. One game, we always let up one game, but banner 18, dude, this is one of the greatest Celtics team if you really look at it that has ever played.
Not just greatest Celtic, but top 10 greatest team of all time.
Yeah.
Like looking at it stats wise, it's insane.
Yeah, I was boots on the ground for the parade on Friday. Sadly, the boys could not join me, but atmosphere was absolutely amazing. World record for attendance for a parade, 1.5 million people showing up for a parade.
Did you guys see the side-by-side from the Nuggets parade?
Oh, it was so
compared
bad.
to like the Celtics parade?
So bad.
It was crazy.
Al Horford had on the Tom Brady getting escorted out of his Tampa Bay parade. He had a cowboy hat on. Kristaps Porzingis was catching nips everywhere. Sam Hauser was throwing up on the duck boat.
Sam Hauser to this day is still partying. He has not taken off those goggles.
Luke Cornett was
Cabin.
when he pulled up to where we were, he was going like this, like trying to control the crowd, and then they had a video of it, and it was Luke Cornett might be the new mayor of Boston. Like the atmosphere was unbelievable. Like the city of Boston, as cliche as it sounds, like 5 years for them is a long ass time. From 2000 to 2018, it was every 2 years or so there was a championship of some sort. Even 2 in 1 year. I mean, the Patriots and the Red Sox did it a couple times. So it's especially, I think, the Celtics, even more than the Red Sox, is like the heart of the city. Like with the Patriots, it's kind of all over the place. Like they're in Foxborough. It's like 40 minutes away from Boston. Like the TD Garden's right there. The Celtics are the blood of the city.
Celtics are the balls.
And it was an unbelievable atmosphere. And I think the cherry on top of it was the fact that they traveled to Miami the day after they won the ship and were able to celebrate the Larry O'Brien in Miami, where they've had all these rivalries for the last couple of years. And I mean, Tatum even said it best, I think.
It's always easy
in Miami. It was just an unbelievable time. Hot as shit, though. Like, there were people passing out, ambulances everywhere, fights going on because they're just drunk college kids. But it was an absolute time.
To back you up, I think it was like the second longest drought ever between like championships for Boston sports.
Yes, I did see something like that, which is crazy that 5 years is the second longest.
Yeah. That's nuts.
But it was my first parade that I've ever went to as well. Obviously, not being a Bruins or a Patriots or a Red Sox fan. Absolutely insane environment. Woke up at 6 a.m. Got a train out of the Lowell station into Boston at 7:30. Then was there from like 9 to 4, just having the time of my life. It was green everywhere. Fuck Kyrie chants going on.
Sea of green.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I think Al Horford got the best ovation. He had his own duck boat with his kids. It was just a beautiful
the
thing
day
to see.
before, Al was at Raising Cane's with
Yes.
like over 1 million people trying to go see him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking insane.
That just and he's coming back next year.
Yep, that's what he said.
Let's move it on.
Gotta love to hear it. Here's some interesting stats about the Celtics and their 2024 title run. The Celtics are the first team in the last 34 years to win a title without having an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, or a previous Finals MVP on their team.
But they're a super team.
Yeah, somehow they're a super team. The Celtics held the Mavericks to less than 100 points in all 4 of their wins this Finals. The Celtics are the third team in the last 50 years to win a title in a game and never trail the first time since the 1986 Celtics, which is insane. The Celtics finished the season with an overall 80-21 record, second best single season record in franchise history, 14th team ever to win 80 wins. The Celtics were 16-3 in this year's postseason. They actually had more wins in the postseason than the Wizards and the Pistons did all season.
I did see that. That was a stupid
Insane.
stat.
So dumb. Second team in 16-win playoff era, which is 2002 to 2024, to lose only 3 playoff games in the whole playoffs.
So, question. I saw it. It was like the stat of like the greatest playoff teams. The Bulls went 15-3 in one of them. 15-3.
First round
maybe it
might
was
have been
for-
different.
Yeah, maybe it was best of.
First round might have been best
Best
of
of
5.
5.
Yeah.
Because I
I think
saw
back
it,
in the day,
I
yeah.
saw that and I was
I
like,
think in the
what
last
it was like
dance
one
I
of
saw that.
it was one of Jordan's things and it was best of 5,
Yeah.
so it was like 15-3 was their
I think it was
record.
best of
And that was the only one that the Celtics were like besides the Warriors
Is that
16-1.
one season though?
It was one season they were 15-3, and then the Celtics were the third best at 16-3, and then the Warriors obviously at their 16-1 record.
The Celtics won 15 more games than any other team did this year, including the playoffs. The Celtics are one of 8 teams in NBA history to outscore teams by 10-plus points in the regular season and playoffs, too. I didn't even realize that either.
That's like their average margin.
Yeah,
Okay.
it got like a little distorted because of the blowout in
Blowout.
Game 4, but for the most of the point, it was like they beat every team this year by like 10.5 points. Yeah,
That's just insane.
yeah.
The Celtics recorded the 7th longest playoff win streak ever with being 10 games.
Yeah.
Also never trailed in a playoff series this year.
No, not even close.
Celtics also led by 20 points or more in 50 out of 101 games all year, which is insane.
Yeah.
Set an NBA records in 25-point, 30-point, 40-point, and 50-point wins this season. They had more 30-point leads this season than 10-point deficits. There's 17
That just doesn't make sense
leads,
when you think
16
about that.
deficits.
Also,
Like-
they have more 30-point leads than the Pistons or Wizards do wins.
Wow.
Celtics' longest losing streak at any point this season was just 2. 2 games. They clinched NBA's best record before 12 teams clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah. Stupid.
They had the NBA's best home record, 37-4, fewest road losses with 14, best record in back-to-backs,
But
12.
they can't play at home.
Can't play at home. Third most home wins in franchise history, most in NBA in 8 years. Okay, can't play at home. They won or tied the season series with 28 of 29 teams, Denver being the only one. They recorded the second most threes made in NBA history with 1,351. That's nuts to me, man.
Missoula ball.
Missoula
Yeah.
ball. They had the best scoring offense in NBA history, 1.22 points per possession. They posted a plus 15.22 scoring margin at home, the third best in NBA history. Not the season, history. And they also won the Eastern Conference by 14 games, the largest NBA conference win since 76.
But they're not battle tested.
You know, when I found out the Celtics were legit was that game against the Warriors when it was 83 to like 32 at
yeah.
halftime or something.
Going
like
into
that.
the third, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was like they
Yeah.
82 to 38.
at halftime, and I'm like, holy shit. And then also, I know to kind of sadden the news a little bit for you, Bobby, I didn't know if you saw.
Oh,
this.
Shea Brissett's not coming back.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean that he's not coming back. That's
we'll
just
get
a
to
player
that.
option.
We'll get to that later.
That's just
Who's
a
coming
player
back and
option.
who's not.
Well, we talked about the players. Let's talk about the guy leading the charge. Joe Mazzulla becomes the 6th head coach to win a title at the age 35 or younger, and the youngest since another Celtic legend, Bill Russell, 55 years ago. Joe Mazzulla holds a record of 121 and 43 in his coaching career with a .738 win percentage. Tatum and Brown played 107 playoff games together before winning their first title, most in NBA history. Tatum becomes the all-time leading playoff scorer for a player 27 years or younger, passing LeBron and Kobe Bryant. But Jason Tatum can't do it. He's not ready yet. He's not ready yet.
Worst
He's not that
superstar
dog.
of all time.
Yeah, he's not
What does that
ready.
even mean?
He's not ready yet. Al Horford, so happy for this guy.
So happy.
He
He
deserved
said,
it.
"Run it back."
He deserved it more than anybody on the face of the earth, in my
He
opinion. Al Horford won his first NBA title after 186 playoff games, most in NBA history before winning a title. Will return next year, not return. Do you know who?
I thought it was
Next
is
in line?
not Carmelo.
No, do you know who is
I thought
the
he had won
newest?
96.
He didn't win a title. Al Horford does not win a title.
So he had the most before winning a title.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you know who now holds the record?
Hot.
Malone, he just said.
No.
It's hot. Active.
It's
Active is
player.
hard.
Oh, active.
Active is
Oh,
James
is it?
Harden,
Is
and
it
he will
150,
never get.
156.
He will never get one. That fat fuck. Al Horford also becomes the first Dominican-born player to win an NBA title. Chris Stapps becomes the first Latvian player to win an
And
NBA
my
title.
man.
You want to say it then?
I know, I'm all set.
Nemias Queta.
Nemesis Queta became the first Portuguese-born player to win an NBA title.
And he just lost his dad too.
Yeah.
Literally the
Yeah, it was
day
the
of the
before-
finals.
I think it was day before Game 5.
Yeah, day before, day of, yeah.
With all that being said, the Celtics are already plus 280 favorites to win the title next year. The Nuggets are plus 650, T-Wolves plus 800, and the Mavs, Thunder, and Bucks all at plus 1,000. The Celtics have Brown, Tatum, Holiday, Porzingis, White, Horford, Pritchard, Springer, Hauser, Queta, and rookie Jordan Walsh all under contract next year. Is this a start to multiple championships, and is this a dynasty?
Stay healthy. Play Mazzulla ball. Literally take it as we lost this past year. We can see another trophy being lifted.
Absolutely.
I think you got Brown, Tatum, Holiday, Porzingis. They're going to be here for 2 or 3 more years. Derek White has 1 year left, so getting him extended, restructure a contract or whatever to get him to stay. Going back to back is so flippin' hard. For the last, I think, 7, 8 years, there has not been a back to back champion since the Golden State Warriors did it back in 2016, 2017. This team definitely has the capability to do it. I don't know if they'll go back to back, but I think the next 5 to 6 year window, there's definitely a possibility of lifting 2 to 3, maybe even 4 more championships. And I think that needs to be the expectation. But I think we also need to realize that it's so flippin' hard to go back-to-back or keep winning at this success, especially at the level the Celtics did. We talked about they went 80 and 21. That's unbelievable. Can we expect them to do that again? I hope so.
Yeah.
But it's you got to think how hard that is to do. Everything's got to go right with health and then players returning. So I think they got a good 5 to 6 year window. Tatum, Brown are going to be here for a while. Porzingis here for another 2 years. Holiday's here for another 3. Derek White we need to re-sign, and then we go from there. But I think it's if you're a Celtics fan, it's very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I throw my 2 cents real
You
quick?
sure can.
Bro.
You can throw in your
1,
5 cents if you want.
Okay. 1, they're so young, right?
Yeah.
They're all in their...
Dude, Shay's a year.
I mean, the
young.
only-
Shay's the same.
Drew
age as
Holiday.
Tatum.
Drew Holiday's he's 34,
and
which
Al
is
Horford is 37 or whatever he is. But
yeah.
other than that, they're all in their 20s.
Yeah.
2, you know how free Tatum and Brown are going to be playing now that
Yeah,
fucking monkey
the
is
chip
off their back?
is off their
Yeah.
shoulder. Yeah.
They're going to be playing so free. I think it's just going to be healthier for, especially Tatum. And then
Yeah.
the third thing is, I told Lewis this the other night, bro. They lost more than they gained. I feel like they lost Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. They
Rob.
lost Malcolm Brogdon. They lost
Yeah.
Robert Williams.
Sixth
They
man of the
lost
year.
Grant Williams,
Who-
who won them
who-
several playoff games.
Hey,
even though he's a
Game
team.
7.
Who also wanted a tribute video.
Right.
Yeah.
But they only had Kristaps for not even half their games this
I
year,
agree.
and
Yeah.
Drew Holiday was the only one we replaced.
What,
all
3
those guys
postseason games?
with. What?
Like,
Yeah,
that's
Kristaps
all he's
Kristaps
like
played in
4, yeah.
4, 5. He played in 5.
Because
First
2
two-
and 5, and then the 2 games in the Miami
Yeah.
series. So,
Yeah.
But they did all that with all those 4 guys lost that I just mentioned, and they
Yeah.
only brought in Holiday. So
Yeah.
it says a lot about Holiday, but
Mhm.
like
The
if
growth
if-
of the team.
yeah,
Yeah.
if people are saying like, oh, Boston like only played bad teams or whatever, the Celtics had virtually the same team with Holiday, and they
Yeah.
didn't even have Porzingis.
I'm sorry, how many wins did we have this year? How many
80.
good teams did we play?
Well, and that's I think to the point you made, Zach, about like the burden of Brown and Tatum being like, we need to get this done. Like when you go through the list of megastars, besides Kobe Bryant, and we can make the argument that if Kobe Bryant didn't have Shaquille O'Neal, he would not have won his first couple of championships.
First 3.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tatum is the youngest superstar to, like, Bron didn't win it until then. Giannis didn't win it till then. KD didn't win it till then.
Curry.
Larry
Curry,
Bird didn't.
Curry.
Curry, Jordan, like all of these guys did not win it until they were 28 years old at least. Tatum's only 26.
Yeah.
So
Around 27.
having that burden off their shoulders and being like, we know it works. We just did it. We
Like,
know
yeah, we
that
can
we know the
do it
recipe.
again.
We don't need to have this stress over us. It's going to be just like you said, a free Tatum and Brown, and like that should be exciting because we haven't seen that. They had this expectation. They met it. Now it's like, whew, let's
Yeah.
go to work even more.
Yeah.
Let's go make great
We'll
things.
always say
I'd also
anything.
like to say that I was the only one that called out Jaylen Brown not being on an All-NBA team when it happened.
Because I said, who's going to take off?
Because then we should have put money on his over in points because he dropped 40 that night.
I know.
know. Another quick note on Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps will reportedly get surgery and have a few months to recover. A rare left leg injury that he ended up playing on in Game 5. He scored 5 points in 16 minutes. He will also miss the Olympics this summer with the Latvian national team, which Luka, some reason he's hurt.
Oh, I thought he was hurt.
Playing.
I thought he was hurt.
But he's playing.
Luka had 7 different injuries. How could he play in the
Interesting.
Olympics if
None
he
of
was
mine
really
He was
hurt?
so banged up, bro.
He's got a knee sprain? Oh, no.
Oh,
he's fine.
he had a rib contusion. He had a wrist injury.
Yeah, an ankle injury?
Oh yeah, he can't.
Thoracic contusion.
He can't play for a couple months. No, he's gonna go right into training camp in 2 weeks. Fucking.
Anyways, the
Friday or
NBA season is officially over, but the NBA draft is coming up in just 2 days on Wednesday, June 26th.
Wednesday and Thursday. This is the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, first time in 2
First time in 2
days
days,
for
yeah.
60 picks. I think that is
Yeah.
So
pathetic.
stupid.
Well, you got to think. There's nothing else on right now.
Yep.
The ESPN's not covering any of the soccer. Hockey ends tonight, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But other than that, what the hell else is on?
Yeah.
You know?
Besides MLB.
But MLB, unless it's a Sunday night, it's not going to get
Hey,
coverage. Let's move into, we talked about it earlier, the best 2 words in sports. Game 7. We thought the series was over. I think Bill said the series was over. Did you not, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Kaput.
It was atrocious. Bill goes, the Edmonton Oilers are dead in the water. They got no chance. Skinner sucks.
Embarrassing. how we could
Embarrassing.
not-
Connor McDavid can't do anything. And holy shit, we
God,
got
I was
Game
wrong.
7 tonight. 8 p.m. tonight in Sunrise, Florida. The winner will host good old Lordo, the Stanley Cup Trophy. Some info real quick about the series since we last talked. The Oilers defeated the Panthers 5-1 in Game 6, becoming the 3rd team ever to force a Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals history after trailing 0-3. The Oilers have outscored the Panthers 18-5 in their last 3 wins. McDavid, McJesus, has 42 points in this postseason with 34 assists, 11 points in the finals. Next closest player is Evan Rodriguez
go,
of the
baby.
Panthers with 6 points. Tonight is the 18th Game 7 in Stanley Cup Finals history, first since
Did
2019.
you guys know that every time this year that the Oilers have given up a 3-game losing skid, they've always answered that with at least a 4-game winning streak.
That's
Wow.
crazy. I
Really?
didn't know that.
That's a great.
That's a
stat.
great stat. I was also
A
going to
3-game losing streak, I think, abrupted, like, I don't know, like they went like 12 in a row, something like that this year.
I was also
Insane.
going to put something in. Sunrise, Florida. We can consider that Miami, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
Miami.
Sure.
How many finals have the Miami Heat been in the last 5 years? Two. Have they won either one of them?
No.
How many finals have the Florida Panthers been in the last
This
5
is-
years?
This is their
This is
second.
their second? Do we see a pattern going on right here?
I would love to see
Can
it.
can Miami / Sunrise not win the big one?
Yeah.
Can they not win the big one?
Start the narrative, Matt.
I'm gonna
I love
start
it.
the narrative.
I love it.
Also-
I'm gonna start
Like
the
I
narrative.
said, you picked the Oilers in 6, but the way you said it, I didn't like, because fuck the Panthers. That's what I'm saying. Fuck the Panthers.
Yeah.
Oilers are winning this, man. McJesus is coming out.
Connor McDavid currently has 11 points in the Stanley Cup Finals. He is 2 points away from tying, arguably, if not the greatest sports figure of all time in Wayne Gretzky, who had 13 points in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, let's get one best bet from all of you for tonight's game.
Let me.
I'm going to piggyback off that because I have McDavid over 1.5 points.
Look at that.
Immediately.
So then that means he's either tying Gretzky or he's going above him. What do you think? You don't have to put it on your bet, but you have it over 1.5. Do you think he matches that, or do you think he goes one
I
more?
mean, if he matches it, there's no way he's not beating it. I feel like he'd beat it.
So you think he's
I
so
feel
you
like
have
it'd
it
be
like so he has it at 1.5,
Yeah.
but you think he might go
It
to
could
3. He
it
might
could
get
be a
3
good-
points
It
tonight.
could be a good play for
Yeah.
over 2.5
Yeah.
points.
I feel like it's kind of like the Kyle Shanahan trying to give McCaffrey the touchdown record.
No,
No,
No.
this is completely
No.
different.
this is the Stanley Cup Finals versus a regular season game to get it.
It's a touchdown record that hasn't been beaten 35 years.
Who the hell cares about regular season? That's
That's a
why
record?
That's
That's the
why the
reason
San
why they
Francisco.
put him up when he was down 20. When
That
they were
is
up by
why the San
24.
Francisco 49ers have never had a trophy in the last 20 years with Kyle Shanahan because he cares about the regular season records. This is about McDavid winning the trophy that might make him the greatest hockey player of all time.
McDavid will be on the ice if there is an empty net situation.
Absolutely.
That's more or less of what I was saying.
But that's different, though. This is the Stanley Cup Finals Game 7. That is Week 16 when they're playing some dog shit
No,
team
I understand. I
up
get what
by
you're saying.
21 points.
I get what you're saying. But my bet tonight, since Edmonton's been scoring a ton, over 5.5 goals in the game tonight.
Combined?
Combined.
Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm so
No, I said
sorry.
I'm
combined. I said
so
combined.
sorry, oil
I'm
country.
so sorry, but you said since the Oilers have been scoring
Oh.
18 goals in their last
Oh,
3 games.
Billy Bad Bet. Oh, no, Connor.
If they lose,
You can blame this
you
guy.
Need to do a formal apology.
Yeah.
instead of-
Zell, zoom in on this face. And if the city of Alberta and Edmonton lose, it's because of this fucking guy right here.
All right, Pat, what's your bet?
My bet is I have the Edmonton Oilers over 2.5 goals tonight. Also, speaking of the Oilers, Flash Girl, Kitty Girl, signed with Playboy.
Good for her.
I
dude.
did see that.
You did see that?
I did.
Good for her.
Shout out. Imagine that. You know, you're just drunk, not even at the game, but a watch party. when they were playing in Sunrise, Florida. So I think it was like game 2 or something like that when they're still. And she flashes her titties. Good knockers, not going to lie.
Oh, but if I flash my cock out, it's a fucking problem.
Jesus, Bill.
I mean,
Say it in there.
it's true though.
Come on!
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
That's also true.
I'll
You
look
might
at-
not even be able to see it.
It is cold in the rain.
Just show your titties, though.
But yeah, so after that, she did get signed by Playboy and was doing a photo shoot and stuff like that. So shout out to her for changing her life.
That's a fact.
That's right.
Anyways, so we have our best bets. Let's go dive into a little bit deeper. Only twice has a Stanley Cup Finals Game 7 gone to overtime. Both happened in the 1950s. What is your prediction for tonight's game? Will the Panthers win their first ever cup and avoid this entire breakdown, meltdown, whatever you want to call it, of being up 3-0.
It'll be the first time in NHL history if it happens.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Stanley Cup
It's
Finals.
I was about to say, because didn't the Bruins do it once?
Yeah,
I think the
Bruins
Red
choked the
Wings-
3-0 lead.
The
No, but what was-
it-
what
I
was-
think it the
One
Devils.
in,
No, that was 3-1. Bruins were 3-1 against Vancouver back in 2011,
That's
right?
right,
That
No.
yes.
I think it might have been the Devils.
No, in the Stanley Cup
Someone
Finals.
did it recently in like the playoffs.
Bruins were down.
Oh, it was the
3-0.
Kings. It was the Kings. It was the
LA
Kings. It was the
Kings.
LA Kings back
Kings
in
were
like
fun.
2013.
the year they won
Yeah.
it all.
And they beat the Rangers.
They did that in the first.
But it wasn't
they
the
did,
final.
They did
It
that
wasn't.
in
It was the first round.
yeah.
Yes.
So it hasn't happened in the finals
No.
history yet.
So, do you guys think the Panthers save themselves, or do the Oilers complete one of the greatest comebacks ever and win their first cup since 1990 and the first Canadian Stanley Cup since, I think, like 93,
Yeah.
94 maybe?
I think after 3 games, they let McJesus resurrect, and he's up here, and he's going to bring.
So
a
is this
title
the
tag.
is this the Palm Sunday for Canadian hockey today?
Oh my God! Yeah,
Jesus will rise again.
McJesus will rise again, baby.
Okay.
I love it.
I love that. That's good.
It's
That's
gonna be the
good.
headline in Alberta.
Because of me,
Palm
and
Monday.
how I need to contradict myself because what I said earlier. So with that being said, Florida's winning tonight.
Oh, but you took over 5.5 goals?
Under.
Over.
What the fuck I said?
Nice.
Under.
We said over.
Over 5.5 goals?
It's over 5.5
Okay.
goals.
Okay.
Plus 124 odds, by the way.
Oh.
Hard not to go against that. For Florida to win plus?
No, the over.
Oh, the over. Okay.
It's actually even money line.
This
All right, so
one,
what I'm hearing is take Oilers under.
yes, yes. This one,
Does this hurt you, Pat?
this like hurts me a lot because I had the Florida Panthers winning the series,
In 6.
and I had Sergei Bobrovsky winning the Conn Smythe,
Ass.
which he's third place. He's third place right now. If Bobrovsky
8
plays,
goals in 2 games.
I know. But we just talked about McJesus. Come on.
Didn't even need to get a point last game. That's
Did you-
insane.
Did you see when he went through 5 defenders and then slipped it to Corey Perry?
Yeah.
Like, You
that
can't
was game
teach that.
4. That was game 5.
That was game 5. No, that was game 6.
No, because he didn't record a point in game 6. He had
Yeah, you're
7.
right.
He had
So it was
he had
game
11
Game
going.
5, he had 2
Game
goals,
5,
2
he had
assists.
Game
He had
5, he
4
had 2 and 2.
He had
Game
4. He had
4
3 assists, 1 goal in game
Yeah.
4. He had
2
2
and 2.
goals, 2
Yeah,
goals, 2
game
assists.
5, he had
Yeah.
All right,
0.
we're splitting hairs here, fellas.
I
so
know.
let's just-
But,
Yeah.
oh man,
the pick is in.
Dun, dun,
This-
dun, dun,
this
dun,
is tough.
dun, 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 dun,
Well,
dun, dun,
I'd like to.
I'm going completely against the start of the series. Bobrovsky, whatever, man. Bill's going to lose the betting anyways. I'm going with the Edmonton Oilers to lift Florida tonight.
Love it. All right, now it's time for random news and sports that have happened in the last week here. We'd like to start our random news segment with a moment of silence for MLB legend and Hall of Famer Willie Mays, who passed away last week at the age of 93. Thank you.
Say hey, kid.
Hey,
I don't know what that means, but
camera. The Willie Mays catch right here at the wall. The iconic legend.
I love it.
he's had a few. Sorry, everybody.
Willie Mays, like I said before I was rudely interrupted, played in the MLB from 1951 to 1973 with the New York San Francisco Giants and the New York Mets. Before that, he played with the Birmingham Black Barons in the Negro League starting at age 17. He was a 24-time All-Star, World Series champion in 1954 with the Giants, 2-time NL MVP, NL Rookie of the Year in 1951, and 12-time Gold Glove winner. Number 24 was retired with the Giants and Mets, also on MLB's all-time team. He hit, like Bobby was going to say, he had a total of 660 career home runs, 3,293 hits, and he finished his career batting .301.
Who's got the record that's not named Barry Bonds? Is it him?
No, Hank Aaron.
It's
Hank Aaron, and then I think Ruth,
And then Babe Ruth.
maybe.
And then I
I'm
think
looking
it's
it
either
up right
him
now.
or A-Rod.
Well, Aaron also doesn't really count.
Barry Bonds 762, Hank Aaron 755, Babe Ruth 714, Albert Pujols 703, A-Rod 696, Willie Mays 660.
Okay.
So
So A-Rod, Barry Bonds, out of there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So-
You're all there, partner.
Don't get into this conversation with me because Barry
Hey, let's-
Bonds.
I
focus on
completely agree,
Let's
but you
focus on
tarnished your
Willie.
reputation by taking steroids. Yes or no?
Yeah, but
Let's-
it doesn't
Conversation
matter.
over.
It
Continue
doesn't
with
matter.
Willie.
The MLB honored Willie in the Negro Leagues last week with its game at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama, former home of Mays and the Black Barons, baby. That's
That was a
away.
really cool event. Like
Wow.
they didn't
Yeah.
plan for it to be like a celebratory thing for Willie Mays, but it literally like the day before or 2 days before the event, he passed away. So it was like it almost
I'm
like
pretty
it's
sure
tragic.
2 days before that, he announced that he wasn't attending. Yeah.
Yes, and then it was like
He didn't.
not to be like it was almost
Here.
the fact that he was able to like celebrate his life at that event. I thought was perfect, even though it's a sad thing that he passed. But like I feel like that was such an amazing thing.
It's like
for
Bill
him.
Walton going out with the Pac-12.
Yeah, no,
And the Celtics.
completely
And the
agree.
Celtics.
He was more of a Pac-12 guy, though. He loved that conference.
Anything else about Willie?
He was honored before and during the game with several tributes, and former Negro League players were in attendance and met with current players before the game. In the game between the Cardinals and the Giants, Cardinals ended up beating the Giants 6-5.
Orelvis Martinez of the Toronto Blue Jays has been suspended for 80 games, violated league's PED policies just 2 days after making his debut. That's one way to go out with a bang, if I'd say
Listen
so.
to this.
22 years old, is Toronto's top hitting prospect and was called up last week after Bo Bichette was on IL. Tested positive for a fertility drug. Says he has spent the last 2 years trying to start a family with his girlfriend. Was prescribed the drug in his home country, the Dominican Republic. That's crazy.
But you can take Viagra before games, but you can't take this.
Don't ask me. I'm not.
No, I'm just looking
Rob
at you.
Manfred's also fucking retarded.
I
so.
hate him so
The
much. He's
the
terrible.
medication he was taking to help whatever fertility, what he was trying to do, had like a banned substance in it that the MLB doesn't allow.
He's now ineligible to play in the postseason this year. Well, the Blue Jays stink. They're not going to make the postseason anyways, and will lose half his salary. 8th player this season already to be suspended for PEDs.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's
With that being said, Pat, how hasn't anybody hit Barry Bonds' home runs record?
I hate you.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now, Aaron Judge might do it. He's already at 29 this year.
This year.
But he's already 30 years old.
Yeah, that's a good point.
32, sorry.
Anyways, also, another sticky stuff situation, and not the good sticky stuff.
It looked like it, though.
New York Mets closer Edwin Diaz is facing a 10-game suspension, was ejected Sunday for having illegal substance on his pitching ham. Umpire said it was very sticky and dark and was not sweat or rosin. Diaz said it was sweat, rosin, and dirt.
If you look at it, it looks just so fucking... It literally
Did he
looks
not
wicked
even-
sticky.
I don't think he threw a pitch. Did he throw a pitch?
I
believe
think
he
he
threw
came in for the 8th
one
and then
or
was
two.
coming out for the 9th, and he
Oh.
didn't get to do that.
Maybe it wasn't in the ninth.
His career has gone down the shitter.
Yeah.
He had one unbelievable year with the Mets,
Yep.
and then had the World Baseball Classic. Had the World Baseball Classic, injured himself, like celebrating something,
Yeah.
tore his
Yeah.
ACL or something, was out for the entire season last year, and then now he finally comes back, and he's now getting suspended for sticky stuff.
You're right, Lewis. He didn't throw a pitch.
He didn't?
Max
No.
10-game suspension.
Yeah, 10 games.
I mean, but still, it's like he's now going to have to realize that he can't get away with anything because every umpire is going to be looking for that he already got in trouble once. What a good ball. It's going to be a goal. You got it. James. No, James had the assist.
Yeah, he hit the ball.
James had the
Let's go.
assist.
Let's go. Give me that. Let's go.
Not really some important news because he's been terrible all year, but New York Yankees first baseman Anthony Rizzo is out at least 8 weeks with a forearm injury. He broke his arm because the Boston Red Sox pitcher doesn't know how to throw a ball to the first baseman and completely fucked up Anthony Rizzo's stride into the base.
And the guy just stood in the middle of the base for like 5 seconds.
Yep. So the Yankees have called up rookie Ben Rice out of Dartmouth in his place. Batting .223 with 8 home runs in 70 games this season. Will rejoin the team in August. And then, obviously, no surprise here, Giancarlo Stanton is again injured with a left hamstring strain, expected to miss 4 weeks. 8th time going on the injured list in the last 6 seasons.
That's
Great. Hitting .246 with 18 home runs and 45 this year.
Oh, he's productive this year.
He's been really good this year.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need him to do everything, but, like, just stay fucking healthy.
Oh.
More news for the Yankees. Star outfielder Aaron Judge, very lucky, because I thought it had a Mookie Betts situation written all over it. Got hit in the hand by a fastball up and in. Everyone thought it was a broken bone of some sort. Going to probably need surgery, going to be out for a while. Luckily, he only missed 1 game and was back the next day. He's batting .300 with 28 home runs and 70 RBIs this season for the 52-28 Yankees. The Houston Astros have placed ace pitcher Justin Verlander on the 15-day IL last week. Neck discomfort, 41-year-old, 3.95 ERA this season. For 41 years old, that's not too bad.
He still needs to retire.
If you're getting paid, why the hell would you retire?
Because you get chilled.
He's got a 3.95 ERA. That's not terrible. You're 41 years old.
That's true. At 41, that's pretty good.
Max Scherzer finally made his debut yesterday for the Texas Rangers. 3-time Cy Young winner, started Sunday against the Kansas City Royals. Hasn't pitched since Game 3 of the World Series last fall. Rangers won 4-0. Scherzer threw 5 scoreless innings, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 4. Had off-season surgery to repair a herniated disc in his lower back, and then a nerve issue in his elbow and hand during rehab. Turns 40 in July, now tied for 11th all-time with Greg Maddux for most strikeouts all-time with 3,371.
That's insane. I will say, hey, congratulations for getting Garrett Cole back, because that's not on here.
It's not on there, but he
We pulled him too early. We pulled him too early in that game.
He only pitched 60-something pitches.
We pulled him.
He came out for the 5th, gave up a single, and then they took him out.
We pulled him.
We gave up like 5 runs.
We pulled him way too early. The Yankees need to fix their fucking bullpen.
Yeah.
Again, it always seems like it's every single year bullpen.
Bullpen and injuries, I feel like, have always been our biggest problem.
But injuries,
and the Astros cheating.
But the injuries, the injuries is like, there's not, okay, besides Stanton, who'll be out for a couple weeks.
Bro, Judge was out for 2 months last year.
But I understand. But right now, the biggest issue is the bullpen.
No, but I'm saying the last couple of years, it's been bullpen and injuries.
100%. But also, we have a Game 3 tonight in Omaha, Nebraska. Probably one of the coolest environments in sports. The College World Series comes down to its final day. Texas A&M and Tennessee will play for a winner-take-all Game 3 of the College Baseball World Series. Texas A&M won Game 1, 9-5. Tennessee won Game 2, 4-1. Deciding Game 3 is tonight. Actually, in 20 minutes now at 7 p.m., winner-take-all. Tennessee's the 1 seed. Texas A&M is the 3 seed.
I will say Game 2 was fucking electric. The ending of that game came down to the wire.
Did it?
Yeah.
Second and third with 1 out, I believe, and they got out of it. Tennessee got out of it.
3rd and 2nd.
Yeah. Well, and then, Texas A&M in the first game was absolutely smoked them for the first 6-7 innings, and then,
All right, well, let's switch to some basketball here. The Lakers hired former NBA player J.J. Redick as their next head coach, signed a 4-year deal about $8 million per season. He played in 15 seasons, also served as an analyst for ESPN this season. Part-time also a co-host to a podcast with Lakers player LeBron James, so could be a little...
LeBron James!
He was hired based on ability to connect with players and basketball IQ, with it, which I do agree. I feel like he has very...
You want to know what he coached last year?
4th grade.
They got 4th grade team, dude.
Who, Rondo?
No, JJ Redick.
They probably won.
I saw Rondo was also
He's
in conversation to be assistant coach.
Yeah, I love that, though.
Lakers want to surround Redick with elite assistants to shorten his learning curve because he has no prior coaching experience. But as you just said he does. So. Like, come on, fourth graders.
Kids' fourth grade team, yeah.
Lakers want someone who can develop young players. Redick also has a podcast with, like I said, LeBron. So the Detroit Pistons finally fired Monty Williams last week after one season.
He's making so much money. I think he's getting paid from the Suns and the Pistons.
They owe him the remaining $65 million on his contract.
I believe it's like 28.
Pat, listen to this.
He signed 6 years, $78 million deal last offseason after he was fired by the Phoenix Suns. Pistons tied an NBA record with a 28-game losing streak this past season and finished with a league-worst 14-68 record.
And guess what? They still can't get the first
round pick. Got the number 5 round pick in this week's
The
draft.
Celtics had more postseason wins than them.
What?
Well, they had zero.
They had zero. They had more postseason wins than they did regular season.
You knew what I meant.
Everybody, listeners,
every listener here knew what I was talking about. Because we don't have any. It's just us.
No. The way you said it was fucking stupid.
The Cleveland Cavaliers have hired Kenny Atkinson as their next head coach. He served as top assistant on the Golden State Warriors staff since 2021. Before that, served as head coach with the Brooklyn Nets for 4 seasons. Cavaliers were expected to hire New Orleans Pelicans associate head coach James Borrego, but he's now expected to take the Detroit Pistons job. They ain't paying him a bag. They already learned their lesson. Cavaliers lost in the Eastern Conference semis to the Celtics.
There's no other reason why.
And they've won 99 games in the last two seasons. Kenny Atkinson previously coached 2 Cavs players, Jared Allen and Karis LeVert.
That man looked sickly last time he coached.
Vamos Colombia.
Because he was coaching the Nets.
Yeah.
Former NBA head coach and commentator Jeff Van Gundy, who spent this season with the Boston Celtics as a senior consultant in the front office, has been hired as the top assistant coach for the LA Clippers. 62-year-old spent previous 16 seasons as a TV analyst before this year in Boston. He has a strong relationship with Clippers head coach Ty Lue from their time together on the Team USA staff. Previously served as head coach of the New York Knicks and Houston Rockets for a combined 11 seasons, posting a 430-318 record, 44-44 playoff record, and a trip to the 1999 Finals with the New York Knicks. Indiana Pacers forward Pascal Siakam intends to sign a 4-year,
He got paid.
$189.5 million max contract to stay with the Pacers. That he got a bag. He could sign the deal on July 6th when free agency opens. He was traded to the Pacers this season by the Raptors and led his team to its first Eastern Conference Finals in a decade since PG. Halliburton and Siakam are now under contract through 2028 and 2029. Halliburton already signed a 5-year, $245 million max deal last year. So a lot of they kind of set their core duo for the next 4 or 5 years now.
Halliburton, Siakam, Miles Turner.
Yep. The Thunder didn't want any more baggage, so them and the Bulls agreed on the trade.
No. The Thunder didn't want any more youngins.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't want any more youngins on the team.
Josh Giddey is headed to Chicago, and Alex Caruso joining the Thunder. Kind of a good. I feel like
That's
a straight up trade.
That is a
Yeah.
great move.
I feel like that's a good trade.
I
for
was
the Thunder.
listening to something the other day, and it was like the Chicago sports media. It was, how are you going to give up, if you're a Bulls fan, you're going to give up Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. The Thunder have like 9 first-round draft picks over the last, next 4 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't get any of them?
No.
Not a single one.
Like, that's poor.
That's why I was like, it's weird to see it go straight up.
Like, you needed to get a pick out of that. If
at
you're
least
gonna,
a second.
at least something. But there's no plan. There's no future for the Bulls.
I mean,
They're
they
already
kinda-
talking about getting rid of Zach LaVine. DeMar DeRozan's getting old. The only bright spot in that team is Kobe White, and I just
I
feel
believe
that
DeRozan's a free agent too.
I don't think he's there yet. I could be wrong. I think he
I
might
might
have.
be wrong too. But
Yep.
go ahead.
I mean, Caruso, 2-time All-Defensive Team selection, 30 years old. That's a great addition for the Thunder. And Giddey just showed how ass he was.
Oh yeah,
during
that move for them. They needed to
playoffs,
get
so-
more defensively experienced in that team, and Caruso does that. He can also knock down threes as well, which is huge for them.
Malik
Yeah.
Monk also kind of getting a bag.
He
4
did.
years, $78 million extension for him. 6th Man of the Year runner-up, averaged a career best 15 and 5 off the bench this season. Max deal available to him to stay in Sacramento. 26-year-old led the league in points off the bench last season, and he was one of only 2 players to have 1,000 points, 300 assists as a reserve. 9 25-point games off the bench. He's a bucket. Kind of like a Lou Will 2.0 a little bit. He missed the final 9 games of the season with a knee injury, and the Kings missed the playoffs, so it seems like he was a big part of that. Toronto Raptors have signed All-Star Scotty Barnes to a max rookie deal. 5-year max rookie contract extension worth $270 million. $225 guaranteed.
That happened today, didn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, holy shit.
Richest deal in Raptors history. It escalated to Supermax if he makes the All-NBA or All-Defensive team.
That's like $300 million.
Yeah,
That's like Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. He averaged almost
Scotty Barnes or Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen
Brown, Scotty Barnes.
Go lower.
You little.
He averaged 19.9 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 6.1 assists, along with 1.3 steals and 1.5 blocks per game. Only him and Giannis averaged 1 or more in every category. 2022 Rookie of the Year and 2023 All-Star. To finish up for me, in the WNBA, Los Angeles Sparks rookie Cameron Brink, I would like to give a moment of silence to a beautiful, beloved.
Hold on. Before we do that, are you guys all like on the hype train? I don't think she's that hot. Do you?
Lisa's girl.
Leave.
Do you?
Honestly,
you can leave.
No.
Zell, do you?
5'6". She's about 6'.
I was on a big hype train, and then
I liked Elena Deladon. She's lesbian.
She is hot.
I'm on a big hype train, but now who I'm really behind is Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, for the Mercury.
For the Mercury.
Who's the one that came from UConn?
Paige Becker?
No, she came from UConn. She's on like
Brianna Stewart.
Mule.
Yes.
Yeah, Nika Mule.
Yes.
Oh,
she is a smoke.
Yeah.
Look up Sophie Cunningham.
Okay.
Then we'll
Well,
talk.
anyways, we'll give a moment of silence for
Cameron Brink's
Bill. Take your hat
ACL.
off. Be respectful.
I already had it off.
Sparks selected her number 2 overall in this past draft. Started all 15 games this year. Averaged 8.1 points, 5.7 boards, 2.5 blocks. Sparks are 4-11 this year.
Yikes.
She'll also miss Olympics. Was going to play on the USA's 3x3 team.
The fuck is a 3x3?
3-on-3.
3-on-3.
And Caitlin Clark's not on a 3-on-3 team?
Let's move over to football. My favorite sport to watch. The Baltimore Ravens have released their alternate helmets that they will wear for one game this season. The helmets will match their purple and gold color rush uniforms. It is an all purple and gold stripe and face mask, and it has a alternate Raven logo on the side of his head.
Sick helmets. If you guys saw it.
The Ravens
I
all
did.
purple?
They are
very
unreal.
fire.
The different
Yeah.
logos.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
The front of the Raven
Derrick Henry in that is going to look unfucking real.
with the black visor.
Oh my god.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has signed a bill to lure the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals out of Missouri into Kansas by helping them pay for new stadiums. The state would cover over 70% of their costs for the new stadiums with betting sports revenue, lottery ticket revenue, and sales/alcohol tax for the new stadium. Brandon Ayuk told Washington Commanders rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels that the San Francisco 49ers do not want him back. Former Arizona State teammates, Ayuk wants a new deal entering his last year of his rookie deal. He had 75 catches for 1,342 yards and 7 TDs last year. Did not attend any voluntary offseason activities this summer. The New England Patriots have reached an agreement with Ramondre Stevenson.
Finally.
4 years, $36 million deal with $17 million guaranteed. Fuck you, Pat. Better than Devin Singletary.
Andre.
Pats have also re-signed Kyle Duggar, Michael Onwenu, Hunter Henry, and Kendrick Bourne this offseason. The Cleveland Browns have waived defensive end Lonnie Phelps.
This shit's hilarious.
Released one day after police said he crashed his car into a Florida restaurant.
What?
Bro, you see the
What
picture?
the
No.
fuck?
Dude, it's literally the car just wedged into the building.
Put that into the...
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
The reported damage is up to $300,000. He was, as you can guess, drunk driving. Spent last season on the practice squad.
Oh, yeah. So he can afford to do that.
He can't afford to do that.
That's why I said it in a sarcastic tone there.
In college football, Oklahoma has agreed to a new 6-year deal with head coach Brett what is this? How do you say it? Venables?
Venables used to be the defensive coordinator for the Clemson Tigers.
Thank you, Pat. He signed a deal until 2029. Deal worth $51.6 million, $8.5 per year.
Wow. He's getting some bank.
Yeah. Oklahoma was 10-3 last season, but will play in the SEC for the first time this coming fall. Good luck to them.
Question: who's their quarterback?
Ooh, Oklahoma,
because Dylan Gabriel's now at Oregon. Do we know?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah, because they typically for the last
That's a Bobby question.
I mean, they do have a top 10 recruiting
Well,
class.
what I'm saying is the last 5 to 6 years they went from Baker to Caleb to Spencer
Jalen Hurts
to Dylan.
Don't forget about I was going to say, didn't Jalen Hurts go there too?
Yeah.
He did. He transferred from Alabama.
for one
Yeah.
So went Baker, Jalen, Caleb, Spencer, Kyler Murray, Spencer Rattler, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
So that's insane. And now I have no idea who their quarterback is.
Where did Cliff coach, or not Cliff? With Caleb Williams, who's their coach?
He's at the Commanders now.
Yeah.
He's at the Commanders. He's the
Riley?
offensive coordinator.
But where was he before he went to
He
USC?
was at US. Oh, where was he before? He was
Riley?
at Oklahoma.
That's why.
Yeah,
And then
with
that's
Caleb
why.
Williams.
Yeah, that's why.
Caleb Williams was there too.
That's
Crazy.
yeah.
You said him?
Yeah, they were together.
Okay.
And
sorry, I
he
didn't
was the
say.
backup to Spencer Rattler, and then that's why Spencer Rattler transferred to South Carolina because Caleb Williams
And then
took over the job, and then Lincoln Riley went to USC,
And
and
then
then
Caleb
Caleb Williams followed him.
Yeah.
And now Caleb and Lincoln Riley's now at the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Are you sure it's Lincoln Riley and not? No, that's Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury's the OC
That's who it
for
is.
Washington.
Yes, that's who it is. Lincoln Riley's still at USC.
Yes.
Yeah. But Cliff, I thought who was Cliff with?
Cliff wasn't with anybody
The
last year.
Cardinals.
No, not last year.
But he
last
was
year was
with-
off.
Before
Yeah,
that, though.
Cardinals.
Before that, though, he was
He was
with.
with Oklahoma as
Yeah.
a offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Quarterback
Yes.
or something.
Yeah.
So he was with Kyler Murray, and
Yeah.
that's why he got the Cardinals job.
Yeah.
That's exactly why he got the Cardinals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In golf, Scotty Scheffler won the Travelers Championship over this weekend. Anybody surprised? No. He defeated Tom Kim on the playoff hole and carded a -22 for the whole entire event. His 6th win on the PGA Tour this year for fucking Scheffler. He's nasty.
Hey.
Before the playoff hole, protesters stormed the 18th green. 5 climate change protesters ran onto the green and spray painted and smoke canisters. They were quickly arrested. The tournament officials had to move the cup to a different spot on the green for the playoff hole due to the protest and red paint on the green.
That's kind of wild. That's really crazy to think about because I was watching that. Imagine going to the playoff hole. Usually, by rule, it's always the same.
Yeah, it's
The place of the hole doesn't change.
You typically
But just for
replay the
that,
18th or something like that. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys watched the playoff hole,
I did,
but Scotty just had an amazing shot, and obviously Tom Kim.
Well, not to even take
made
away
the putt
the putt that Tom Kim made to force the playoff as
Was
a beautiful putt
my
after
God.
everything that was going
I
on.
think when I was watching it was like a nothing but net shot.
Yeah.
In basketball.
Yeah,
Like,
it
right
was-
in the middle, no rim job.
And it was
nothing.
probably
just
at least
straight
like a 10 to 12 foot
Yeah.
putt as well. Like it wasn't a gimme.
in.
and-
Scotty Scheffler almost had that putt from the first cut too.
The thing is, Tom
Insane.
Kim is 22 years old as well, and he's already won 4 times on the PGA Tour. He is going to be an absolute stud.
Imagine scoring a -22
And almost
and just
losing.
and
And
losing.
losing. I was
Well,
in
that's the-
Scotty's
so-
case. of
So
almost
here's
losing.
the thing about this tournament. Last year, Keegan Bradley won it at a -27. So it's a fairly forgiving course, and especially with the weather over the weekend, very soft greens, everything's going to stick. Putts are not going to go crazy. So, I mean, the fact that no surprise, Scotty won, but Tom Kim to be able to force the playoff was absolutely insane with everything else that went on.
I don't know if you guys watched that too. When they changed the placement of the hole for the playoff hole, they brought out Scotty and Kim to look at the hole,
Show them
kinda,
where it is,
and
yeah.
Kim was all over it, just asking people questions, just looking around it. Scotty took one look and went to his card.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'm ready."
And
Let's go.
he's good.
It was the craziest moment I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Scheffler has not missed a cut in 2 years. He has finished in the top 10 in all but 2 events this year out of a total of 15.
Mm-hmm.
Also at the Travelers Championship, Cameron Young carded a -11 under for 59 on Saturday. First sub 60 on PGA Tour in almost 4 years. Included 2 eagles on par 4s.
Yeah.
And it also he finished tied for 9th with a -17 for the weekend.
The best thing
He's the
about that
12th
too.
player to ever
So
do
he went 59 on Saturday, and then Sunday he went 6 birdies in a row.
Wow.
And then kind of fell apart towards the end. But yeah, it was just absolutely
That's
stupid.
insane. Some other random news. Jake Paul will not wait until November 15th for his next fight. He will now fight Michael Perry.
Who?
Yeah.
Who? That was good.
Of a bare knuckles fighting championship in an 8-round
Bare knuckles.
cruiserweight bout on July 20th in Tampa, Florida.
I can
Very
promise
good,
you I ain't watching that.
I won't either. That date was originally scheduled for his fight for the Mike Tyson fight, but Tyson had to reschedule due to his ulcer flare-up. Paul is 9-1 with 6 knockouts in his career, and Perry is formerly fought in the UFC. Boxer Ryan Garcia has been suspended for 1 year after testing positive for PEDs. Defeated Devin Haney in his last fight after 3 knockdowns, but that is now ruled a no contest. Also forfeits his $1.2 million winnings from the fight with a $10,000 fine. Garcia is now 24-1-1 with 20 knockouts. Haney remains undefeated at 31-0-1.
So, remember the bet he put on himself as well?
No.
So he put $1.2 million on himself to win that fight, and he won it. He lost that money as well.
Wow.
So he lost probably
He also-
like $5 million.
Before that announcement came out, 2 days before that, he tweeted out saying, "I'm officially retired."
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like before that announcement came out.
And I was talking with somebody, and they were talking about it was the most minimalist amount of some sort of like SARMs or something like that, which is like it's a performance enhancing drug, but it was the most minimalist amount, and it was the New York Boxing Association that was the one that told him that it was an invalid fight.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
In UFC, we are now hearing that Conor McGregor pulled out of UFC 303 due to a broken toe.
You guys saw the pictures?
No.
No, they're pretty. It was pretty banged up.
What did he break it at a club?
Probably.
Probably. On
Script.
voting
Oh.
rights.
He said he was training without proper protective gear and broke his toe kicking an elbow. He said he needs a few weeks to heal. Reminder that Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka will now headline the fight. Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson have qualified for Olympic spots in the 100-meter dash for Team USA. Lyles placed first, 9.83 seconds, 26-year-old in his second Olympics. Richardson first place with a 10.71 seconds, 24-year-old, her first Olympics.
So the first thing, she qualified for the Tokyo Olympics, but she was not available
weed.
because she.
Yeah.
Yep.
Smoking pot.
And then Noah Lyles is famous because he was the one during a press conference.
Why is it the world championship?
Yeah,
He ain't done
yeah.
shit.
The world champion of what?
Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong. But when you think about it with the NBA, the best players in the world go and play there. So you've got to think about it like that. Like the best players in the world go there. So, but anyways, let's wrap up and finish with some random news. Kylian Mbappe did indeed break his nose. We kind of talked about that last episode after the header where he ended up hitting somebody on the shoulder in the Euro 2024 game against Austria. He did not play in France's second game against the Netherlands. France is tied for the lead in Group D with 4 points. It is uncertain if he will play Tuesday against Poland, but if he does, he will be wearing a face mask. Did any of you guys see the face mask he was wearing?
It was
He looked like
ugliest-
the
I love
person
it.
starting Mario Kart with the goggle. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said that. in the
He
chat.
looked like a superhero, like almost like it was not a
white,
good
red, and
look.
blue.
Yeah, originally it was a red, white, and blue mask for France. Made him change it to just one color. Argentina, not very happy with the pitches that are going on in the Copa America right now. I believe they played in Houston, Atlanta.
They put grass
I know.
over the turf.
Let me finish.
Trust the producer.
They Besides the fact they did win 2-0, probably could have been more. Messi missed 2 or 3 wide open opportunities. Says it was bumpy, and if not improved, the Copa will not be seen as an equal event towards the Euros. Mercedes-Benz Stadium is the home of the Falcons, a turf field primarily. Grass was installed just 2 days before the game. Players criticized poor planning, saying they knew 7 months in advance the game was going to be played there. So,
why is there not grass for NFL games?
that was not where I was going at.
Oh,
Correct, Bill.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So, this whole conversation with the World Cup, they're going to have 4 months of prep time to get the pitches ready for the World Cup. This, they only had like 2 or 3 weeks. So my question is, why don't you... When was the season over? February?
Yeah.
It's June. You
Yeah.
should have been planning for this right away.
Yeah, but you got other concerts and stuff that
No,
go on in
the
there.
problem
Concert isn't on turf.
If you guys would like to hear me out, the problem is that the Atlanta United play there, and they normally
play on turf. They do.
So, but they could have changed them to grass.
They
but
could have.
didn't. So,
You should.
If you play soccer, you prefer to be on grass.
Grass.
and any
Anything you
normal
prefer
person would
Yes.
agree.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
Yeah.
our Captain America had a very strong display yesterday against Bolivia, scoring an absolute beautiful goal off a corner kick.
Who's your Captain America, Pat?
Christian Pulisic,
Thank you.
the star boy. Short corner, about the left side of the 18-yard box. Curled it in, scored in about the 3rd minute. The second goal was scored by Florian Balogun. Little cutback onto his left foot, far post against goalkeeper. Another great goal. If we're being honest, the U.S. probably could have had 4 or 5 goals. They did look strong. They did do well. Was a little concerned about the kind of hiccups and injuries between McKinney looked like he got hurt once. Reina looked like he got hurt once. Pulisic looked like he got hurt once. So some definitely cause for concern there. Joe Scally, I was very, very impressed with. Plays right back. I believe he plays for Mönchengladbach.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was very exciting. Yunus Musa came on, played really, really well when he came on. Ricardo Pepi couldn't score if it was the ocean. But anyways, moving on. Argentina sits at top Group A after defeating Canada 2-0 in their opening match. Mexico and Venezuela are tied at the top of Group B with 3 points each after wins over Jamaica and Ecuador. Ecuador's captain, Ener Valencia, was given a red card and a loss for a high kick.
Dude,
that was like
crazy.
a karate kick,
was
bro. That was
crazy.
unreal. And he said he was going for the ball.
The fact that
That was unreal.
The fact that they took that long reviewing that too, bro.
Dude, it
It
was
took
literally
so long.
easy. So easy.
It's one thing if you had the laces going to him. It was studs
Straight
right to his chest,
right here.
bro. Unreal, dude. Sad news for Mexico. Mexico's captain, Edison Alvarez, left the game in the first half with a left hamstring injury. His status moving forward is uncertain. Just watching that game, it looked like he tore that shit, if we're being honest. It was a non-contact injury. He was sprinting after somebody, and he just pulled up and immediately went down. Not an injury you want to see for Mexico, especially with the form of Mexico in the last couple of years. He's a very, very big part of that team. I think they were talking about it on the broadcast that he has more caps combined than the rest of the Mexican national team together,
Yikes.
which is not something you want to see. Euro 2024 group stage is coming to a close. I think we got 2, maybe 3 days left. I know there's a doubleheader tomorrow. Next podcast, we will talk about which teams make it to this round of 16 on our next episode that will be released on Friday.
To finish up the episode, we have Washed Up Wagers. Here's a recap from last episode. Lewis is in first place with a 12-4 record after going 3-1 last week. His wins were to be a goal in the first 10 minutes of Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and Peyton Pritchard to make a 3 in Game 5 of the
All
NBA
Peyton
Finals.
Pritchard needed was 3.6 seconds. No, was it 4.0? I think it was.
Who knows?
Yeah,
But-
that's all he needed.
Wasn't that his only appearance in the entire game as well?
Besides the
Only
final minute when
Yeah.
there was the
Yeah.
scrubs in,
Only
but he didn't
appearance.
shoot. That was his
Yeah.
only shot.
He did his job.
And we were watching it
It was
upstairs in the
amazing.
living room.
I said it's
and you
PP
go,
time.
and you go, PP's
all
checking
fucking
in, bro.
stood up and were like,
Yes. Yeah.
His loss was Croatia to beat Albania in the Euros. They tied 2-2. Lewis won his series pick for the NBA Finals since the Celtics covered minus 1.5 games in the series by winning 4-1. His series pick for the Stanley Cup Finals is Connor McDavid to have the most points in the series. He is currently leading with 11.
Looking juicy.
That already hit.
Next closest guy is 6. Pat is now tied for first with an 11-4 record after going 4-0 last week. His wins were Connor McDavid to score in Game 5. He ended up scoring twice. Portugal to beat Czech Republic at the Euros. They won 2-1. And the Celtics to cover minus 2.5 in the first quarter of Game 5, which they won by 10.
The last minute and a half was a sweat, and then they ended up...
He also hit his series pick for the NBA Finals, the under of 5.5 games in the series. His series pick for the Stanley Cup Final is Bob Roski to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. And as always, we always know I'm going to be in last place. We should just all go against me because, God, I fucking suck at gambling. I'm 7-9 after going 2-3 last week.
Have you had a winning record so far?
Yeah, in the first week of this month.
Yeah, he was 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, why am I 11-4? Did I have a push on something?
11-4.
Yeah, because it says Lewis is 12-4, and then it says I'm 11-4. So I'm 12-4 as well.
Just ask.
Well, so you were 8-4, so 4-0, you'd be 12.
Okay,
my bad.
No, I was just making. It's
because I wrote you were 3-0, but then I forgot the finals.
This finals one. Gotcha.
And Bobby's NHL pick is already done, so I added that to the loss.
Gotcha.
My wins were Turkey to beat Georgia at the Euros last week. They won 3-1. And the Dodgers, who beat the Rockies last Tuesday, 11-9, after starting down, 7-0 or something like that?
I thought it was 9-4 in the ninth, you said.
Oh, yeah, 9-4 in the ninth with 2 outs.
Yeah.
They had a absolute horseshit call that they said
that was the
ball
swing, right?
Yeah,
they hit
Oscar
yes.
very next pitch, home run.
Wasn't it say Oscar?
Yeah. Very next pitch, home run.
Yeah.
I was shitting my pants. My losses were the over of 54.5 points in the first quarter of Game 5 in the NBA Finals. They combined for 46. They had 2 points in the first 4 minutes.
They did, dude. That reason 10 was fucking brutal.
Yeah. I also lost my series pick for the NBA Finals for there to be 2 road wins because the Celtics only decided to win 1.
You said that the Dallas Mavericks were too good of a team to not take one in Boston. So fuck you, buddy.
Okay.
They weren't.
Now, Boston wanted to win at home.
Yeah, that's all.
Right.
That's all.
You also lost.
Yep. Keep going.
If you guys would let me keep talking. Also, my series pick for the Stanley Cup Finals. I said it was going to be a total of 6 games, and it ends up being Game 7 tonight, so that fucking blows. No shocker here. These two fellas are headed towards the end of the month at 12-4, and I am 7-10. So, another punishment, 3rd month in a row.
We'll be coming up with one by next week.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Let's do our 3 best bets for this podcast. This bet right here, I'm very confident in. I will be throwing $10 actually on this one. I'll be putting it into the DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm going with the Edmonton Oilers over 2.5 goals tonight at minus 115. I'm taking Harry Kane to be the first goal scorer tomorrow against Slovenia at plus 270. And then I am taking Rodrigo, anytime goal scorer for Brazil, at plus 110. $10 to win you $157.76.
I like that.
Congratulations.
Hold on.
Okay. I got, as it's currently going right now, I have Colombia money line against Paraguay. It was at a minus 150. I have McDavid over 1.5 points tonight at a minus 110. And Netherlands money line against Austria at a plus 115. It's a plus 584. $10 wins you $68.40.
Congratulations. For me, Bobby fades. I took Argentina money line versus Chile at a minus 205. So bet Chile. I got Serbia money line versus Denmark at a plus 220. Bet Denmark. I also took Belgium money line versus Ukraine at a minus 155. Also, Thank you, Brady. That is plus 683, $10 to win you 78.32. All right, well, thanks for joining us for episode 20 of the Washed Up Sports Podcast. We release new episodes on YouTube and Spotify every Tuesday and Friday. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Our links for those can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay washed.